And good afternoon. We want to welcome you to our special live broadcast this afternoon on this Sunday, January the 17th of 2020. We're going to let a few folks get on here in just a few moments. We have an update on our friend, Gary Ridley. We're going to be joined up with his son in just a few moments. So bear with us. We wanted to let Petey give everybody an update on how Gary is doing. Of course, Gary is fighting COVID. 19 and has been for at least over a week. And we want to get an update from Petey himself. So let's go ahead now into the broadcast and bring Petey on. And Petey, I want to wish you a good afternoon to you and your family. Hope things are going well. And we hope that your dad is continuing to improve.
Yes, sir. Well, like I said in the last video, from the bottom of my heart, thank y'all for the prayers. Keep them coming. We appreciate everything that's going on, even with Dad being in the hospital. But we called him today before I got on here, and his ventilator is at 30%, which I think is the lowest that I've heard from other people. And his oxygen is at 94%, which is very good, they say. They did say he had kind of like a blood pressure, kind of high blood pressure, I think, wasn't it? Or was it? Oh, I'm sorry, a temperature. But it's went down. They've kind of gave him some medicine and stuff like that. And so everything is still looking good. You know, he's not here with us. He's still in the hospital. But, you know, his color and everything about him is good. Kidneys are good. They say they are trying to put, what was the word you said, Mom? Pressure support. They're trying to do pressure support for him, which I think that means, you know, trying to let him breathe on his own. Thursday, he was off the ventilator, but then he kind of coughed a little bit and stuff like that, and still can, you know, everything's still in his lungs and stuff. So they put him back on it, and my mom's wrote some notes down because I really, it's hard to, but like we said, we called. I was telling Mr. Jeff that he hasn't went above 35% on the ventilator. When, like I said, all this started, it went from like 80 to 45 to 50, back down. It was just good to, you know that he was off the ventilator, but, you know, back on it still. But still looks good. They FaceTime my mom off his cell phone, and they're trying to lower the sedation. Finally knew how to say that word now. So my mom's been FaceTiming since, I guess, last week, I guess. And, you know, my mom will say,
how long has he been in the hospital?
he's been in the hospital since the 3rd. The 3rd of January.
Okay.
Yes. And the last time I got to see him, I think, was the Tuesday. So I think the 3rd was on a Sunday. And I haven't seen him face to face since the 2nd of January. So it's been a long time. I haven't went this long without seeing my dad. But I know he's okay. But it's just been weird, you know, just having me and Mom here and you know, trying to find stuff to do. And we're just blessed to not being in quarantine anymore, because it was kind of, we're watching Andy Griffith and doing all that stuff and playing Uno cards and Monopoly. And me and my fiance went out to eat last night and went to Anderson and stuff. So we're trying to find some stuff to do, but there's just not a day or any minute that we don't think about my dad. You know, it's kind of hard when you've been around a person every single day and you talk to them every single day, even if you don't even work at the store anymore. It's just weird. Like I said, I keep thinking like I'm in a dream still when I go to sleep every night. But I've tried to step in this role as being the father of the house, still trying to take care of my mom. We went to Bojangles. We went to church today, but had parking lot service. And then we went to Bojangles with my mom and my dad's one of their friends, Lori Malpass, and stuff like that. So we're just trying to find some stuff to do. You know, and this time it's just hard not to see Dad, you know, still laying in the bed. You know, it's hard not to go and see him. But we still go to the hospital and pray. And do our little thing that, you know, we feel like is the most important, you know, because we can't see him at all, but we're at the place that he's at. But Dad still looks good. Like I said, Mom FaceTimed him. I think 2 days ago. I think maybe. And my mom was like, "Hey, if you can hear me, just nod your head." And my mom said, like, "We love you," and we even told him a lot of people was praying for him, and he started nodding his head because I guess he's like that because he's sedated. But like I said, they're trying to knock that down so he can start doing his own stuff. But the most thing we're praying for is he can get off that ventilator and try to get his lungs back to where it was normal. Yeah. But no, like I said, we're all fine here. My mom got some red roses from a neighbor of ours down the road. And we all still have our little crying moments because, it's just weird not, seeing Dad or anything like that. But I'll be honest with you, numbers have looked very good. I've kind of done my research a little bit more, see how far you'd be on a ventilator. And I think, Mom, he's been, let's see, today is 2 weeks he's been there. Yeah, 2 weeks today he's been in the hospital for 2 weeks. And they say they usually is about on it for about 3 weeks. I guess it's a month or so. But we're just praying every single day at night, any time of the day, that he can just get off that ventilator. But apparently Thursday they took him off of it. And then they called my mom Friday morning at 2:00 in the morning, which it kind of, it scared her because you never know what would happen at nighttime. Yeah. And they were giving him ice cubes, I guess, to kind of crunch on and kind of swallow. And they said he did fine with that. But it's just his lungs. He's still a sick man. As my mom would say every time we're off the phone, we never know what time or when he's going to come home. And like me and you were talking before we got live, right. I'd rather him be completely 100% until he leaves that hospital. Absolutely. I don't want him to be here laying because my parents usually lay right here and watch TV. I don't want him to be here and he's 50% okay. And kind of was like, wait, where am I at? He's on his little twilight mode and then he gets sick again. Then we have to go through this again. But
I know that there has been a lot of people this morning on a local church service. They dedicated part of their broadcast to prayer for Gary and so many people. Petey, I want to do something here since we've got all our folks that are watching. We have so many right now that are logged on. I want to offer a word of prayer with everybody, including yourself and your mom, if you don't mind.
Okay. Mama, can you come here? He's going to pray with us. She's been sitting in there. She's like, I don't look good on this broadcast, but
it doesn't matter. I don't look good either.
Yeah. Hey, I don't either.
we're all in the same boat. But I know that this lady right here could use some more prayers, all the prayers in the world. Hello, Miss Sheila. How are you?
Put this in your ear.
Okay. Now you
can you hear him?
You should be able to hear me now.
I can.
Okay.
Very good.
Yes.
We're going to offer a prayer with everybody that is online right now. If you will, just pray with us as we go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the many blessings that we have. And as the days continue, we hope and pray that you will continue to look over this family. You will look over Gary, who's in the hospital. Look over everyone that is having any issues with COVID. Family lives are being affected. They're not able to be with their loved ones in the hospital. Right now, more than anything, Lord, put your touching, loving hands, your healing power on Gary and everyone else who has COVID-19. We know that everyone is struggling in this world with everything that's going on. But right now, I pray for everyone, including the Ridley family, for his sons, for his wife, and for everyone that's being affected from COVID-19. Dear Heavenly Father, just please put your loving arms around all of us and continue to help us because we need you more than now than ever. In your heavenly name, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. I just wanted to offer that prayer for everybody that's watching. There's so many people that are commenting, and I want you to know too how much Gary has touched a lot of our lives. Gary has known me ever since I was a kid. I've grown up going to TriStar Imports, and every time we would have a conversation about South Carolina football or the Bobcats, or Gary is just an individual that is a pillar of our community, and we love him so much. And we love him and you and Petey. Y'all have just touched this community in ways that, the Lord's blessed y'all, and the Lord is continuing to bless y'all. But this is one of the things that we can give back from the community. We can give back to you and your family is the prayer and support, knowing that we love Gary and we want him back home with y'all. And I want to go back up to TriStar because I'm going to rag him about being a Gamecock fan. It's time for him to come to the good side of Clemson University. But we're continuing to pray for you and your family. And there's so many people that are on right now. I don't know if you can see all the comments. You can go back and watch it. Miss Sherry, your neighbor down there, loves all of you. Just so many people that Gary has touched in the lives. Just by having that simple of going in TriStar Imports, he has touched so many people throughout the years. So, again, I want to thank you. We're continuing to pray for you and Petey and the other son he's an active military right now, correct?
Right.
Okay, he's an active military in the Navy. And I know that has to be hard on him because he's not here either. So, Petey, you have stepped up to be the leader. And God bless you, brother, because your dad, when he finds out all about all this, he's going to be so proud of you. He really is.
I tell Mom, he's raised me to be that way. It's a funny thing, about it. When I was playing ball, and if my coaches ever said, well, you need to be here 30 minutes, we're there an hour before the game. It's just the little things. If my dad ever has to go on a business trip to Las Vegas, Chicago, or whatever, and I would love to spend the night with my friends or whatever. But then I think, well, my mom's going to be alone. My dad wouldn't want me to do that. Or if it was opposite, if my mom had to go somewhere and my dad was home alone, my dad is stronger than my mom in situations, but still, you never know what's going to happen in this world. And like I was saying before, this lady has done a lot for me in school. Just advice in life, church, especially both of my parents. And that's just what I'm giving back to her. My plans is, I work at the rec department and I'm trying to get over at Seneca High School and coach baseball with Coach Crow and Coach Bay too. And I just feel like I have so much to give back to the high school and little kids that, watched me, play the game how it was supposed to. But she's, like I keep saying, my dad is my rock and my mentor. It's the same thing for her. But is there anything you want to say before I keep talking a little bit?
No, just please keep the prayers coming for Gary. And thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
All right, I'm gonna keep talking if that's going. I'll be in there in a minute. But yeah, she's a strong lady. I'll be honest with you. So
you can tell that it's really hurting her inside not having Gary with her, because everywhere you've seen Gary, your mom was right there. They both were two peas in the pod. They never went without. They were always together.
Well, actually, it's like my dad. He bought a Jeep, and I never was a big Jeep person. But a friend of my dad's, I met him for the first time. Well, not met him for the first time, but talked to him, and his name is Ken Cox, and me and him has been texting back and forth about Dad, and he said, well, I want to take Dad on a Jeep ride. And I wanted to take my dad when he gets home, and I'm going to ask Ken if he wants to go with us, and his best friend, Wes Edwards, Ed Jones, they all bought Jeeps and stuff. And, it's just times like this, I'm getting older. I get married in November. And, my mom was like, well, we're going to be all alone when, you get married because you're our little baby and stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'll be home, and my dad, he's done so much for me, sports, God, everything like that. And I guess he wanted to spend some money. I was like, you couldn't buy me a truck? But I was just joking. But, he's enjoying life. He has a amazing wife. It's my mom and a store that he can truly loves. And, I don't know what he thinks right now as he's been going through this stuff, but I know he's ready to come home and then worry about the store. But
He's ready to go
everybody from
back
the
to
store.
work. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know. And they've done a really good job at the store.
Yes,
I
they
know
have.
we had some COVID issues there, but like I said, the store is still open. I even thought about if, Monday, tomorrow, I work for the city, so we're off. But, just giving back to what my dad is giving all of us as employees. I even thought about going into work tomorrow and helping maybe if I don't have stuff to do around here for my dad or anything like that. But it's been hard. I think it's been harder on my mom, which I feel like it should be because they've been married, 34 years?
Yeah.
36 years. And
That's
my
a long
mom's
time.
like, I've seen him every single day. I sleep with him. I work at the same place as him. We go out to eat together. I mean, it's, that's just how a couple is.
Mhm.
And that's what's kind of hurt her the most because, she said it's not bad that I'm here. It's just, she just wishes, dad,
Yeah.
Gary, father was here. But, I told her when all this stuff happened, I said, don't worry about money. Don't worry about, food or anything. Our neighbors, Miss Sherry Lee, she has done a great job. Miss Lori Malpass was here when everybody was quarantined. Everybody's done a good job, and we appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Like I said in the last video, if it wasn't for those people, I don't know where we would be. Because I'm not quarantined, so I'm going to my fiance's house later on in the day, and then come home a little early because I love to take my mom in. When it's time for bed, she'll say, "Hey, I'm going to bed," and I'll go to bed too. I mean, I'll be on my phone at nighttime, but I usually tuck her in. I usually we say our prayers. I think tonight she says it, and then tomorrow I'll say it. So we kind of do it that way, and we don't just pray for my dad. We're praying for other people that's sick, that's in the hospital, or like I said, even in the hospital, not even in the hospital. And just thinking about this, I think it's Lila Dole. That's where
Mhm.
Dole Morgan is right now. We learned that from the church, which is we've been praying for that especially. My sister-in-law's mom, she was in the hospital. She got to come home, I think, last week. So prayers are the most important thing because that's what's going to get anybody better. I know Miss Susan Harris, she wasn't feeling well yesterday, and she feels fine today. Some people at the store was sick. I think Miss David and Martha Henderson, they
Mhm.
have been incredible. And my dad thinks a lot of their family and even the store's family. But like I said, the store is running well. I've
Good.
kind of checked up on them because when I was in quarantine, I had to wear a mask, around my mom, and I would take the trash off and stuff. And some people, Jacob Malpass, we're a guy who works there, or Brian and Grayson Anderson, they would walk out and be like, "Hey, how's Dad?" And it makes me, I started kind of tearing up a little bit, but it makes me feel good inside that people are thinking about Dad throughout the day, even if they're really not even praying, they're just thinking of him. But like I said, Dad's doing well. He's still in the
Good.
hospital. I'm just glad the ventilator hasn't went up. It's
Right.
because they said you're going to have your ups and downs. And I don't know. I think a lot of people, but he did pull his ventilator out. That was,
Really?
yeah, that was, Mom, when did he do that? Oh, she's not in there.
That's
I think
that's
it was
the fighting
sometime.
spirit of Gary we all know, right?
Yes, yes. I felt bad when they told us. I kind of like chuckled, but I felt bad, but I chuckled. I said, really, really? But I don't know. They said he had his mittens on or something. And I don't know if his hand got caught in the cord and it pulled out, or if he did his little hand, the mitten fell off and he grabbed it. Who knows? Only he or the Lord would know. But I know every time we FaceTimed him and got to see him, which I wish we could do that and let people see him, but also I knew my dad wouldn't want people to see how he looks right now. But he keeps saying like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to be home. I'm ready. He kept saying like, I'm thirsty. I'm ready to come home. I'm tired. And he is
Mhm.
tired. I can tell he's tired, just by playing sports, or if we had a long drive to go see my brother and my sister-in-law, and my little nephew, driving a lot can be tiring. and I've seen it. And he kind of, whenever he gets tired, he kind of gets ill. I mean, I feel like everybody's like that. But that's him. That's Rebel himself. But
Yep.
they said it could be a setback, but it really wasn't a setback. By the grace of God, it wasn't, because we prayed. They called us at 9 o'clock, because we called at 6, and they FaceTimed him, and they showed it. Well, my mom kind of had like a praise, like, "Oh Lord, like, he's, the ventilator's out," and then the doctor or nurse said, "Ma'am, he pulled that out." And I said, "Gary, what are you doing?" Just trying to have like a chuckle. But then I was like, "Oh Lord!" Then I went into like a panic attack. I was like, "Please, Lord." And so then we just waited it out. And I talked to my cousin Stephanie Moore, and she's kind of like a nurse at Upstate Medical. Yes. Yep. And she said, "Well, it could be kind of like a setback, or it might be a Ford. It might, who knows." But I don't think he's had a setback since he's been in there. I know when he went in there that Sunday, they admitted him the 3rd. I know that Tuesday, that's when they put the ventilator in. And once you think of a ventilator, you're like, "Oh no, like he's not going to make it."
That's right.
But he's been on it since then. And like I said, Thursday they took him off and gave him some like ice cubes. They said it was kind of like, I would say ice cubes would be like Tom Drive-In's ice cubes. I feel like, because why put a big old ice cube in his mouth?
Yeah,
it might swallow it, then something happens.
Crushed ice would be a better way to look at it.
Yeah, and that's the best ice in the world. That's Chick-fil-A and Tom Drive-In. They got the best ice. But like I said, my mom, she would probably stand here and talk more. But like you said, it's just, it hurts her. And I would feel hurt, if I told my fiance, I said, "If I saw you, if this happened to you, I don't know what I would do." Because I love her so much. We're not even married yet, but still, you just, and that's anybody. If you was in the hospital doing the same way, I would feel the same way. Like, please God, keep him safe. Like I would.
Petey, use this as a teaching moment for you. This is a life lesson that you're learning.
Oh yeah.
You're a young man, and there will be many more of these kind of events that you will face in your lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Take this as a learning experience from the Lord, and use all of these experiences to help your loved ones. You're young. Yeah. And you will get this. You will understand. You're facing things that some people never get to face until as a child, until they're in their 40s and 50s with their parents. You're facing it right now, and you're only in your 20s. So take this as a learning experience that the Lord is strengthening you. He's giving you the courage and the hope, and you're learning how to take care of your own family when you get married. Yeah. Those are the things that you can take away from this. But again, we're running a little bit over here. So many people, I want you to go back and watch the video. There are so many people that have made comments about we're praying and prayers for the family, praying for Gary, that it is unbelievable. And you need to see this for yourself, just how much your dad has touched the Seneca area, Oconee County, and people that don't even live here anymore, but know Gary, are commenting that they love him and they're praying for him. So I want to thank you for having the courage to tell the world about your father.
Yes, sir.
Telling everybody, and we do want you to continue. If we need to do this once a week, feel free. We can do this because Gary is so loved, and I think the story needs to continue to be told. It will be the greatest moment, and I will tell you this, when we know that Gary's coming home, the camera is going to be there. I promise you.
Yeah, that was there. That was like my mom's friend Lori. She went to the I don't know where she got them, but posters. And I'm taking 3 of my posters to my fiance's house, Abby's house, and I was going to see if she wanted to do that. But yeah, I would love to do that. I know I haven't really texted people. Like I said last time, I had about 50 people on Messenger, or like some Snapchat people, like guys that I've played ball with in my past, and I really haven't texted them a lot. Only people that are, texting me, because I've been taught, you don't have to respond to everybody, but my dad would want everybody to know how he is, and I feel like this right here is the easiest way.
Get out weekly, and if there's something that happens in between time, then we will share the story.
Yeah, and I was going to tell you this too, after we got off, but I'll just tell you now. Once we find out he comes home, because we're going to put some posters and, if people want to, line up and, just to see him, I guess, because he would love that. And, I was going to ask if you wanted to come, especially you, just so everybody could see it. People might not even want to come here, but still can see him. Because I know a lot of people has texted me and say, hey, do you know when he might come home? I was going to plan my month around your dad, which that makes me feel like, that we're loved.
That's right.
And,
you are.
And by the grace of God, he's doing all right. And I couldn't give any more praise for him. It was even good to get out of church, to get out of the house and just go to church today. And that Hepzibah is praying for him. And I couldn't ask for a better church, that I have been since I was basically came out of my mom until now. I know tough times with this parking lot service. It's kind of hard, but at least we're all still there to praise God, and we can watch it on our phones. Or
we can hear the word. Exactly.
Yes. And that's what a lot of people, that's what we need right now at these tough times and even down the road, because this world, it's just, that's one thing I've been praying for besides my dad. I haven't really know what's all going on because I feel like I'm still kind of young. I wasn't there, when all this president and all this stuff happened. I'm learning. But that's just one thing that's been on my mind. I'm like, I just hope this world's okay. And like I said, whoever our president is or whatever, we still have to pray because this country, we have to pray for our country.
Well, the best advice I can give you is ignore what's going on and just keep your faith and trust in the Lord.
Amen. You couldn't say it any better.
If you do that, everything else around you can fall, but you will have the peace in your heart, and that's all that matters.
You got that right.
All right. Well, Pete, we're going to go ahead and have to get off here. But again, this video is available. You can share it. But I do want you to go back and read the comments. I think it will make you feel good. Let you and your mom take a look at it. Again, let's just go ahead and plan. Unless something changes next Sunday, we will do this again.
That sounds good.
At 2 p.m., we'll be back on here for another update. And again, if something happens, you let us know, and then we'll let everybody else know. But right now, our prayers and thoughts and everything are still with you, your mom, and of course, Gary.
Well, I appreciate that. And I know my mom has said it before, but we really do appreciate a lot of prayers. And just know we're not taking advantage of this. We love every single person that has been praying. And just, we're loved by a lot of people, and our family loves so many people that's in this world. Even if we don't even know you, my dad, he would probably have a whole conversation with you and say, hey, come to TriStar or whatever. But like I said,
we will have that conversation when he comes. I'll give him one whole hour that he can talk nothing but TriStar imports if he wants.
Yes, you got that right. But like I said, thank you all for all the prayers, and we'll see you next Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Sunday at 2 p.m. Unless something changes beforehand, then we'll be back. Have a great week, Petey, and thank you and your mom.
Yes, sir. Thank you.